In the opening scene of the movie, a girl named Nami is seen opening her eyes when the alarm goes off. Nami spends the entire day on her phone while working in the office, talking with colleagues, and even at parties. However, after the party, when she boards the bus to go home at night, she has an idea that she is not aware of, and her phone falls. When she awakens, Nami does not take care of her phone. Instead, when the phone is not found, she starts looking for it. However, when she calls her number, a woman answers. However, the boy who was holding the phone was actually speaking to Nami through his mother's recording while the phone was in his throat, causing Nami to hear his voice saying, "Yes, your phone is with me." After agreeing, Nami calls on him to a hotel where the boy checks his phone but is unable to access it due to the password, which angers him and causes him to smash the phone's screen. Meanwhile, a girl's badly injured corpse is discovered in the jungle. Coffee, an officer, killed the woman. In this case, not only this officer, but a lot of things are also known, so his companion says that you just have a doubt, but to catch him we will have to gather evidence. When Nami goes to her dad's hotel and meets him, she learns that my dad also has an ID. June has been missing for the past 7 years, and June is no one else but the same boy who found Nami's mobile phone. When Nami goes to the shop to pick up her phone, she also sees June, who was wearing a mask. He also discovers her password and the details of Nami's phone. Then, while fixing her phone, he also installs a hacking program and creates a duplicate phone of her phone and gives it to N by mistake. Nami's mobile screen is broken, so I sold it to a mobile shop to fix it. I have also given money so you can go to that shop. June was also aware of it as a result of his control over Nami's mobile device. He might also operate it. She communicates with someone through her chats and messages, and he was watching her through the camera when Nami was working in her father's hotel at night. However, he was unable to recognize her because she was wearing a mask, so he asked her for the most special drink in the shop. Now that he has been watching Nami through her mobile device, he has discovered all of Nami's likes and dislikes, which impresses Nami, and he also shares information about himself. When June sees the photo of the girl he killed, which was none other than the one whose dead body had been discovered in the jungle, he decides on his next victim. At night, Nami falls asleep while talking to her friends, and throughout the night, June keeps checking her phone through which he had learned even information and secrets about her. The following day, Nami arrives at her office because she actually used to work there. Nami's boss approaches Nami and informs her that Nami is performing admirably and that because of this, she is increasing her salary by twice. The officer goes to June's dad's house and starts talking to his wife, but she doesn't mention June because she knows that June and his mom are in contact with one another. As they continue talking, the officer says, "I suspect June and I know that you are in contact with her because I overheard you and her conversation after H." Now June had also heard all of this there. When June went to her house to check all things, she stumbled upon Nami's second mobile, which demonstrates that she uses not one, but 2 mobiles. The officer's close associates report to her that the location I have told you about, she understands the location of June, so she goes alone to find June. When he shows up, he goes inside the house and finds June. Nami was working on her project and was very happy. He quietly entered the house because he was aware that someone had already entered, and when he did, he noticed his father inside painting the corpse's nails with nail polish. Wisely, June called his father out of the room, and when he returned, June had destroyed all of the evidence and documents. After meeting his father, June returns to Nami's hotel and claims, "I always come here and ask for the best alcohol here." Upon seeing him, Nami's dad realizes that he is lying and begins conversing with Nami. Later, as they were departing for their home, he finds out that June is lying. He has visited the hotel for the second time. He has never visited before, so I don't think he is right, so you stay away from him, her father tells Nami, to which she responds, "Dad, I don't think so, but okay, I will stay away from him at night." When her friend said, "I also want to see her," Nami responded, "Okay, I'll introduce you to her." Nami was with her buddy when her friend suggested that she change a few things about her appearance, such as shortening her hair and taking off her glasses. When the mother of the murdered girl is greeted by the police, the officer explains that her daughter's phone had fallen and broken, after which strange things began to happen to her before she was killed. The officer also assures the mother that the police will keep searching for the killer when Nami's father returns from work and is attacked by June, who then manages to capture him the same night that the police make their arrest. She also receives numerous messages on her phone in which she criticizes her friends and her boss, in addition to saying that the latter did not affect her pay. When she arrives at work, her team is furious with her. She claims that she did not post a single message and that she has no idea who is responsible for all of this. However, no one believes her, and they tell her to leave. She makes efforts to convince him of her claims so that he cannot ignore them. "I did not do anything. I believe that someone has hacked my phone, that someone is trapping me, and that someone is operating my phone under their control, so surely she must have done it." Her boss demands proof and ejects her, which makes her very upset. She then goes to her friend's house and begins looking for coffee. When her friend offers to help, she takes care of her with this matter because she had also noticed that Nami is very close to her. She and her buddy go to the police station and tell the officer. The officer then informs her that because everything that occurred to her happened online, we are unable to assist you in finding the person who did this to her, and then they both depart. June was now sleeping at Nami's dad's house because he had tied her there, and he keeps texting Nami so she knows that someone has come to take my dad. They both then go to the hotel and start conversing, and she was considering who could do such a thing. When June returns, she tells her that someone has hacked her phone and that person has installed such software through which her phone has come under his control, and whatever you do will be discovered and he can run the mobile in his favor. June then says that to find out about this we need a person who is very good at computers and the internet, so come here, for which Nami goes to take the juice and she starts checking Nami's phone with her friend. When she arrives at the hotel, her friend shows her the news. Noticing that Nami is not talking to her, the friend asks her, "Your mood is bad?" Because after opening the password he must have done all of this, and at that time, Nami's friend was secretly taking their picture. What happened? Are you upset? When her friend hears this, Nami becomes enraged and exclaims, "I doubt you. You have done this because only you know my password." Her friend expresses her sorrow. When June arrived yesterday, she said, "Okay, if you think so, then I will go away from you." She then breaks off her friendship with Nami and departs, crying bitterly. When June saw this, the officer became furious. Her friend then said, "Your son is doing this. We know. We have to catch him and stop him soon because things have gone far." The officer replied, "First of all, you find that mobile shop where June works." The officer says that I also know the details of the 9th girl who is going to die, and I got those details from June's house. So now we should save her so that June can be caught as soon as possible. Now Nami also comes here. She had heard these stories, but June had destroyed everything here, but through some papers it is known about those 8 customers who were none other than those people whose deaths were so many. The officer says that I also know the details of the 10th girl who is going to die, and I got those details from June. Because of it, I am now jobless, without even a job, and my dear friend has also abandoned me. It is also known that no one by this name currently works at this location. After hearing this, June infuriates Nami, who resolves that I would exact revenge on her. She just responds, "I also want to catch June. He is not a good boy, so I will do this and call her home to meet her." The cop had also heard these things, but he did not inform her that June is also a serial killer who has killed many people. The following day, Nami sends a message to June and asks to meet while both police officers are waiting for June. June changes his appearance according to Nami's desires as soon as he cuts his hair, and goes to meet her when he reaches outside her house. When June moved forward while Nami was getting ready in her home, both the police officers stopped him. But upon seeing his face, they realized that he was not June, but rather someone else because they were unable to identify him owing to his altered looks. The officer's companion responds that they had a misunderstanding and that they are looking for a murderer anyhow, whoever it is. "I will see you after." saying so much, he leaves from there while both the officers come up and meet Nami, who tells them that her message has come. She has to say that, "I am busy today, I will meet you later." She then says that June will report against you because I am innocent and you are suspicious of me and eating gun. Then an officer informs them that now that everyone is aware that your daughter June was responsible for all of this murder, they must avoid the house going forward to avoid any danger. Hearing this, Nami becomes extremely concerned. She then takes out her second mobile phone, inserts her SIM card, turns it on, and leaves. The officer informs Nami that she should go to a location where she can be safe because her life is also in danger. She responds, "Whatever happens, I'll contact you and let you know," and enters the home. Once inside, she begins calling her father to tell him she has arrived. Later, while she was on her phone in her room and dialing June's new number, she heard the sound of a phone ringing from this house. She was startled and went to check, but there was no one there, so she continued calling the police officer out of fear. Nami delivers this message to save her father's life even though she doesn't want to. She then confronts him and asks, "What did I do to you? Why did you catch me?" He replies, "I got your mobile from the bus. That's why I chose you as my prey. It's obvious that through the mobile I could know everything about you. How could I leave you?" She then brings June. After hearing this, June instructs her to tie herself up with a piece of tape. When Nami does this to her father, she fills the tub with water to drown him. When Nami sees this, she begins to cry and curse June. She then exits the water-filled tub while he was taking pictures of her and making fun of her helplessness. When he gets out of the tub, he grabs the officer's card and writes, "Nami just call, no message." Nami was about to drown in the water when the officer's partner saved her life. The officer beats him and injures him and asks about his son. When he says that he is his son and that he does not even know his son, the officer gets angry and starts beating him again. June also realizes that the officers have entered the house. He goes and catches June, but his dad comes and catches him, but because he is not his son, he starts beating him. The officer is saddened to learn that June has been murdering people under the guise of June after obtaining all of June's prey, from which he even obtains the first victim of the 0-number prey, who was actually none other than his son June. All the details of June's son were present, and the one who had vanished 7 years earlier actually was not alive 7 years ago. This killer killed him, and since then June has been killing people by identifying him as June. Nami learns from him that the actual killer is June, and when she becomes angry, she kills the killer by snatching the gun away from the policeman. Nami then hugs her father and weeps, and the healthcare is called to treat him while the police are also gathering the belongings of all the dead. When Nami was in the hotel with her father, June was killing people via the internet, and now no further information is accessible. She notices that someone was quietly watching him, but she doesn't know who he is. He might be a murderer who hasn't yet been found, or he might be the officer's son. And the movie ends.